Live streaming is one of the most amazing things for businesses, and China is telling us how powerful this platform is. And today, we're gonna tell you how you can as well find your opportunities, your market, and go to China and succeed there. Because, and if you want to know a little bit more, stay tuned because I'll be back to talk about this. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to another episode of the Special Marketing Live Show. And today we have an amazing topic to talk about live shopping and how we can succeed in the Chinese market because it's something that we should have in mind. Like Chineses are coming here to bring new solutions, to bring new things. We can go to China as well and show them what we can offer to that huge, huge market. And live shopping, it's for sure a great opportunity. Sarah Yam, I hope I'm telling this right. I've heard Sarah a few months ago telling how live shopping is succeeding in China. And she told me about, she told in this clubhouse discussion about so many ways that they are taking advantage of this powerful platform. And so today we're going to talk about how you can embrace live shopping, how you can go to the Chinese market and show what you have to sell, your solutions and everything. So stay tuned because this will be a very powerful conversation. Sarah will share with us as well why live shopping is being a thing in the Chinese market, how they are doing this, and how you can embrace these tips and this uh, approach to the market as well. So let's bring Sarah to the stage.
Hi,
Hello.
everyone. Thank you, Marco, for having me. It's great to be here.
Well, thank you, Sarah. It's a pleasure to have you here. The other day, when I was listening to the show on Clubhouse with the ladies from Live Scale, I thought to myself, well, this is so powerful because yes, I'm in this live stream thing for more than 5 years, but for us here in the Occidental, if I can say that culture, this live shopping is it's in the baby stage or yet, but there are so many opportunities. So thank you so much, Sarah, for joining me, for accepting my invitation. I have to thank you also to Helen Lam because he she introduced us to do this. And if you don't mind to introduce yourself, and then we can start the conversation. Is that okay?
Yeah, sure. So I'm Sarah. Great to know everyone here. So I'm the co-founder of Red Digital China. So uh, basically help Western brands to sell product and services to China market. And I'm the co-founder. I'm also a Chinese blogger and blogger as well. And so really happy to be here to share about the China market live streaming insights.
Perfect. Thank you so much. And I have to start with this, Sarah, because the other day I was watching a live show in Portuguese, and I was listening, and they were talking about live streaming opportunities, which businesses could embrace live shopping and live streaming, and those who not. And it was funny because uh, one of the persons who were commenting was in the real estate business, and he said, "Oh no, this is not for me. Real estate could not use live streaming." And do you want to share with us how does it started in China?
Yeah, sure. So it started actually, I think like 4 or 5 years ago already from Taobao, which is like a eBay. So in China, like a Taobao is actually like a, like a China version of eBay, and there's a group of sellers who want to promote their shops through live shopping. Basically, they need to drive traffic to their store, and the only way to do it without spending loads of money on advertising is to become like a live streaming lady, basically like a TV show entertainment, just to showcase the product and to have entertainment, share entertainment joy with their audiences. So it started way back from Taobao, like a China version of eBay.
Absolutely. This is very good because I think you mentioned as well that the real estate in China is using live streaming a lot.
Yeah.
And can you share some more information about that, please? Because I think it's really important, and I think it's one of the good ways to promote. For instance, this we are in this side of the world. I think instead of, for instance, someone from China wants to buy a house in Portugal. I think it will be more practical to watch a live show. Okay, let me see if this is for me instead of coming here to try. What do you have to share about this?
Yeah, I think that it is a great idea. For example, if Chinese property investor, they want to buy a residential property in Portugal, the only way, I mean, because there's a COVID right now, people can't really travel to Portugal to see the flat. So before they actually come and see the flat, if you have some live streaming show that they can see everything, the room, the living room, and everything is more convincing than if you just put an ad out there or just a piece of article, a picture. So in China, actually a lot of property companies are leveraging live streaming to show the property, to sell property via live stream, and it works. So that's why a lot of companies, even like, for example, London properties companies, are following the same tactic to show everything, by demonstrating through live streaming. So I think it works really well in China.
Perfect. And the other thing I'm curious about, because you mentioned Taobao and also AliEx. I don't know if it's AliExpress or Alibaba, which already has their live shows as well.
So it's the China version of AliExpress. Just everything in Chinese language. They can buy like fashion clothes. They can buy like a baby product. They can buy cosmetic. They can buy everything like a mass platform. So it started like a Taobao, like a China version of eBay, English, a Chinese version of AliExpress, basically.
so I think I was here thinking for you, which is the best option, because, for instance, I have a property, or I have more than one property here in Portugal. Should I, for instance, create kind of a marketplace where other people from real estate can, for instance, go live there, okay, and hopefully somehow get traffic from China, or make kind of a collaboration or a partnership with something like a company in China or something? Or should I go live on my website and make which for you it's the best way to make this? Because I think it will be hard for okay, I have my real estate website, and then I want to make a broadcast, for instance, to reach the Chinese market, but all by myself, I think it will be harder, right?
I think by yourself is harder if you're the only person who are doing it. That's why you need a digital marketing agency like us. For example, we help you to translate, localize, for example, and help you to do live streaming in Chinese, in Mandarin, so that you can, for example, show how your property look, and everything through, for example, like and presented in social media, and that way is so much easier. It doesn't have to be very complicated, you know. It can be just a for example, like a 30 minutes live with Marco showing his property in Portugal and his life in Portugal. For example, maybe you can travel in Portugal and, you know, have some travel elements, drinking wine, or I don't know what else we can do in Portugal. Is it beaches or
Yes, yes,
bar,
lots of
you know,
it. Yes,
restaurants? Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
basically showcase these entertainment elements to make it as more funny and interesting, like a YouTuber, you know, like a kind of a personality, you know, like a and then you can showcase your life there, and people maybe they can come after the COVID to live, you know, in your property like Airbnb, you know,
Mhm.
or you want to sell your property. So I think there are different ways that, depending how you would like to promote it or position it.
Okay, it sounds good. And so as here in again in the Eastern culture, um, oh, Western, okay, Occidental, okay. Because entertainment in Chinese live streaming is also some important, right?
Yeah, I mean, entertainment. I think it's really important to make the show as entertaining as possible. Not only just selling, but also maybe like there's some backdrop, you know, some funny backdrop or some people demonstrating the products, or just having a group of people have that sort of energy to present to the audiences, and use the use of languages to make it as attractive as possible. For example, you can say, "Oh, right now I'm sitting on my bench in Portugal. I'm drinking this fabulous wine. You know, eating that like a creamy cheese. And if you would like that experiences, you know, come after a lockdown, and I'm gonna show you this Portugal lifestyle, something like
Okay,
that."
so this made me think about something, which is maybe it would be good instead of just trying to somehow sell the house or rent the house. Okay, because you mentioned the wine, we have amazing wines, the cheese, and we have amazing food. And I know
Yeah.
if you already tasted Portuguese food, I'm honest, I like Chinese food, but Portuguese food it's as well an amazing food. So I was thinking maybe instead of just one business, okay, I'm a real estate business, I want to make a live shopping, a live show to, and what if I can gather people, okay, a wine producer, a restaurant, maybe a cheese producer, whatever, and put everything together, because this is something I wanted to I want to ask you as well, is which businesses do you think that will succeed better in the Chinese market?
I think it depends. Depends. For example, take Portugal as an example, right? Uh, for example, I will be interested. I think a lot of Chinese people will be the same. I want to go there and travel one day. I mean, I haven't been to Portugal yet, but I want to go there and see. Just, you know, to travel, to live in a hotel, or to try the food, and just to see everything. I think the travel will be quite interesting. Uh, and the restaurant, the food product will be also interesting as well. You mentioned the wine, and also maybe cheese, some meat, or something like that, like an experience. So I think the experience is more important. Somehow equally important as the product itself. For example, if you talk about a property, it's not only just about a property. It's not like an empty dead building, right? Is the
Absolutely.
feeling with people inside, maybe cooking, enjoying food and everything. That sensory experiences that is appeal people more than they just see an empty flat, basically. So I think if you want to do live streaming, portraying that experiences, delivering that exciting experience or sensory experience that they can't feel in China is really important, as if they're kind of inside Portugal right now through the video, through the live streaming, as if it is like, they can feel it. Maybe some noises, some music, that kind of bring them the clue, oh, that is Portugal.
Absolutely, absolutely, and I think, for instance, okay, this for tourism should be good, of course it is, but also, for instance, trying to sell wines to China, I don't know, cheese, because we were talking about cheese and this kind of products. That this could be also a nice way, right?
Yeah. So what do you guys have as well, apart from wine, cheese, or anything? Like, do you have any meat or maybe like some dairy product or oil or?
Yes, yes, we have olive oil. Usually Mediterranean countries, they have very good olive oil. Okay, so this also, yes, we have good meat, we have good fish, even though fish could be not so easy to deliver to China. But for instance, yes, we have, and also traditional clothes. Let me see. And yes, we have shoes. Portuguese shoes are usually very good.
Oh, I see. Interesting.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Uh,
Uh,
for
so
instance, yes, yes, yes,
so like what kind of shoes? Like, is it leather shoes or like
yes, yes, yes,
oh, I see.
yes. For
That's
instance,
interesting as well.
yeah, when there are some, well, there were before these exhibitions in Milan and this fashion. Usually, Portuguese shoes producers, they succeed very well there.
Um,
So
Interesting. How about
yeah,
bakery? Is there any coffee or coffee bean or bakery product? Because bakery is also very popular in China as well.
yeah, coffee. We don't have that much coffee because we are not that. We don't have that so hot weather here. So
Oh,
yeah, even though for, and this is a funny thing, we usually, when I go to other countries, because here mostly in Portugal we drink espresso cafe.
it's right.
Okay, so, and we have our own producer. It's in the south of Portugal, Delta. They are in different in other countries as well, and but it's not traditional produced here, as far as I know. We go to Africa, mainly Africa and South America, because I think they are the good producers of coffee. But yes, we have, for instance, we have a famous tea. Well, let's talk about tea, because I
Tea
think
is great.
China, it's the tea nation.
Yeah, the tea nation. Yeah, absolutely, the tea nation. So we have all different kinds of tea. We have fruit tea. We have like a green tea, or all sort of different sensations. So it'd be great to know what kind of Portugal tea is that. Is it like strong or soft or
I think it's strong.
fine?
I think it's the kind of, I think it's the kind of black tea.
Black tea.
Okay, and it's typical from Azores, which is an island in the middle of the Atlantic. It's kind of in the middle of between Europe and America.
Oh,
Because, for
that's
instance, in United States and Canada, there are lots of people from there that went from Azores to America and to Canada, and there they have amazing. They have I think it's Guriana, or Guriana, the name of the tea. and it's one of the most famous things from there.
Oh, I see. That's interesting. So, tea, I think tea will be a good, good thing to sell to China as well. How about bakery or maybe like food, other food product or maybe art?
Yes, and we have also, let me see the translation because like sausages and this kind of things.
Yeah,
Let me,
sausages will be interesting.
yes, let me see if I can find the translator here because some words.
Or
Yeah, sausages. Yes.
sausages, yeah,
we
sausages.
we have good things here as well, and there's a particular one. I will share the story with you and with our audience. It's they are produced in the okay I live in the north of Portugal. I don't know. There's a funny story. I want to tell this story to you because once it's a joke, of course. It was a Portuguese talking with a Chinese person, and he asked, "Oh, Portuguese, how many are you?" "Well, we are 10 millions. On which hotel are you?" Because
Oh,
we are so small.
oh, I see.
And for instance, I live in the north of Portugal, in close to the sea, and in the interior, there's a place called Trás-os-Montes, which is close to Spain, to the Spanish border, and they have these things, sausages. Most of them are made with pork meat. Okay, but there's it's kind of a legend, but somehow it should be truth because I think it was in the 18th or 19th century, in that part of Portugal, there were lots of Jews. Okay, so there was a kind of inquisition pursuing them, and what the criteria to see if they were Jews or not, if they are eating these sausages, because most of them, as I said, are from with pork. What do they made? They made a sausage with birds like chicken, turkey, also chase meat like reindeer and something. Okay, and they made this. They came up with this new sausage, and it's called alheira.
Oh,
It's made with bread. They melt the bread with water, and they blend it with the meat, and it's very tasty. Okay, and it's good because most of them are not made with pork meat, so they are suitable to all the religions.
oh, that's very interesting. So I think sausage will be good as well to be eat with pasta or
Yes,
tomatoes. I
absolutely.
think that will be a interesting thing for Chinese audience to try to as a Western food, dining.
Absolutely, absolutely. So let's see. Okay, we see there's potential. We see that we have these products. Which step do you recommend to be the next one so we can prepare a live streaming to impact the Chinese market?
I think that uh, like for example, like a series of Portugal travel and product shopping will be interesting. For example, you have a series of sections of let's come to Portugal and see and experience the product through travel and things like that. Maybe you're in that cornfield or in that store with sausages and you try it yourself eating it and you show it to your camera like actual sausages and you
Hmm.
put some descriptions on what this sausage is, what it is made, how you cook it. You actually like when you come to it, maybe there's a stand where you can cook it and you can eat it. I think that will be more convincing if you just show the sausage, you know. But if you cook it and you put everything in and you taste it, it's much more convincing as if you're eating it. And if you're eating it, if it sounds very, oh my God, it's delicious, and see what, oh my God, it's delicious. This is sort of things that people are interested to watch. You know what I mean? It's not like,
Absolutely.
oh, this is the product,
Yeah,
just
yeah,
buy it.
absolutely.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, okay. One of the things I want to ask you, because this could sound, because it's a different culture. Do you think, for instance, it will be proper to have Chinese people, for instance, in these shows?
I think that would be good to have Chinese people in the show. For example, like they may have their own perspective, what they like most. You know, maybe some are too sweet or too sour or too what, because they have their own taste bud, which is,
Absolutely,
yeah, which might be different from Portugal people, because
absolutely,
they
absolutely.
eat too much Chinese food. You know, they can, the sense
Yes,
is different.
yes,
So I
absolutely.
think it would be good to have one Chinese people who actually can demonstrate the eating, and that'll be much more interesting. You know, maybe one Chinese people and one is Portugal people, like together. That will be much more interesting than just you know, Portugal people.
Absolutely, absolutely. And the language,
Yeah, language.
English, Mandarin, Cantonese.
Yeah, exactly. Language. Yeah, and language is very important. And so for live streaming, sometimes people reinvent some interesting new words to show to the audiences, and uh, that make much more different than, you know, basically reinvent a new word. It's like a Chinese, a popular live streamer in China called uh, you know, he's a guy who reinvents some words to describe cosmetic, the color. And for example, he create like a kind of blood red for red color to
Mhm.
describe a sort of red tone. So something like that would be much more interesting than you
Great.
just describe like a, you know, like a cold object.
Perfect, perfect, interesting. And because sometimes people, and here in mostly here in Portugal, people, they are very suspicious, and this digital things, yeah, I don't know, because we have this thing. Usually, people, business owners, they say, "Well, we are Latins, we like to touch and everything," and then I say, "Okay, yes, I think we all like to touch." But by these days, we have two things we should have in mind. First one is this COVID thing, and I think it will go away soon, hopefully. But by these days, it stays there. And the second thing, and I think it's really important to think about it, if we want to reach a broader audience, if we want to reach other different markets, we need to embrace these technologies to reach that people, right?
Yeah, you're right. I understand that, you know, for example, Portugal people, maybe they like to touch and feel, and they might not embracing live streaming. But for China, is very much we are in full on in this technology. So we basically embrace this as if a new normal, that, you know, life still goes on. We can still experience things, buy things through live shoppings. It's not that difficult. Basically, you know, we just do it in front of the camera, show how we eat, to cook, what we dress up. You know, we demonstrate the makeup and everything. Basically, just in front of camera, just as if you're talking to another person in real time. So it's the same as if you're seeing the person.
Absolutely, and this is for, and I, because usually when I talk about video and live streaming, people say, "Oh, I don't like to talk to a camera," and I say, "No, you're not talking to a camera. You're talking to someone else who's on the other side, who is willing to interact with you, to talk with you, and this is important, right?"
Yeah, it is important. So you're not talking to a camera. You're talking. You're basically like an actor. You're a performer. You're performing the show. You're performing. and talking with people in real time. So imagine you're like a performing and selling your product as if you're acting out.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. Um, let's talk a little bit about numbers because I think this will convince people
Yeah.
about the
Sure.
power. How, for instance, do you have any idea how many companies started? I think you mentioned 5 years ago or something in China, uh, and how it is evolving during these years.
Yeah. Basically, it is basically really mature right now. Live streaming in China. So, for example, in 2019, Taobao Live has already accumulated over 400 million users. So, and uh, there's also 20 billion yuan in sales transactions. So imagine like you for live shopping, it achieved like over 20 billion RMB in sales. That figure is stunning. It's crazy. It's
Absolutely.
astonishing. It's explosive. So it's just something that is you can't ignore it right now. And I myself is very interested in live streaming, and I really believe in it. So I think it is a new way of selling, uh, which is make it much more fun and interesting. So
Absolutely.
this is going to be even more important for business to embrace uh, right now, especially during the COVID.
It's possible. I don't know it at all. Is it possible to a company from here, from Europe, from America, to create a store in this kind of platforms like Taobao and start selling there?
Yeah, I mean, so it is not that difficult to create a store in Taobao. So basically, you list all the product in Taobao, with the price, and get everything set up, and then you basically need to acquire some users to and push forward to your friends. So your friends, and so it's better to have a Chinese partner, uh, for example, like us, or we have partners in China who can work with to promote your products and services. So I think having the right partners is a step number one, so that we can work together to create like a live shopping's experiences. Yeah.
Very important. I think it's interesting because as we mentioned, there are some products that could be well sold in China, and and the other, by the way, the other countries around China like Japan, Korea, are they embracing as well the live streaming?
I think Korea and Japan is slightly lag behind for live shopping, but they're getting there, evolving. I think like for Hong Kong, Taiwan is one step ahead than Korea and Japan for live shopping because it's closer to China. Uh, but the biggest is China, uh, which is much more sophisticated than Korea and Japan.
Great, great. So this is also a matter of technology because you need lights, you need cameras, you need internet. Which advices can you share with us about this role of technology? For instance, which things are truly important, and those who are not that well, they are important but not crucial.
So I think basically you need a social media account. First of all, to do live streaming in China, for example, either it's WeChat live streaming account or like a Taobao a store with live streaming account, and or if you have other let's say Xiaohongshu, it's also a Chinese social media platform. You need a store, and then it also support live streaming as well. So basically, you need that account. You need content, which is like a sales script for the show, and daily content posting in social medias, in Chinese social medias as well. Uh, and then obviously you need the rest of the things, like you need to set up your drama, your show, uh, decorating the store, have some backdrop for the for your live shopping. For example, either you're in a property and you have all this product you need already, and you have some backdrop to make it as interesting, not really messy around, things like that. So these are basic things to start uh, to do live streaming in China.
Perfect, perfect. The other day when I was listening to the examples you were talking about from China, and I think it's good to talk about this, which is businesses, kind of business that are succeeding in the Chinese market with live streaming, live shopping, and also concepts. Because you mentioned something that for me was like, whoa.
Um, you mean like you mean the concept, or what are the things that you?
The you mentioned something about cartoons or something.
Oh, cartoons. Yeah, I think there is in China. There are, uh, uh, for example, Alibaba is doing some AR, augmented reality, kind of like a cartoon, a person to make it as real person as possible, to sell in, basically he or she is a character. So he and she will sell the product to you in lifetime without the person involved, and she can do it 7 days in a week. So this is already existed in China. There's some big platforms investing the technology in building this AR, augmented reality persona, like a virtual persona, to sell product and services through live shopping.
My God. My God. Do you have any other examples that of something like we like to say out of the box? Because I think this could be interesting to know, because we like to understand and to see new ideas and
Yeah,
to try to implement them.
yeah. I think having like for example, virtual reality cartoon is great. To work with you as well, to work with person, to make it more interesting. So it's not only just you doing it every day. You have, for example, a virtual reality puppy or doggy, or whatever pets that you want to come in, invite the show and present the product and services to the public as well, to add a little bit of spice on it. It's very interesting. Or like a virtual reality playgirl coming to the show to present it together, and to, like a guest, or like assistant, you can call it. So this make it more interesting. Um, and otherwise they'll feel kind of boring to see you every day. They want to have something different, they want to see a different guest, or they want to see a different people, not only your face. So I think that is kind of like a people, they want to chase something new, and more adventurous.
Absolutely, absolutely. This is interesting. And how often? Because this could be a challenging thing because we know that being consistent is very important. How many times do you recommend a brand to go live, for instance, to succeed in China? Because the first thing, and I don't know about how you are, but let's put it in kind of a broader way. We don't buy at the first time we see people. We need to first know who they are, trust them, and then we buy. Do you have any benchmark or something about how many times they go live?
I think a benchmark will be there's a different stages. So it different when you're starting out from zero, from scratch, or you already existed, or the brand are already popular in China and people know them for a long time. There's no need for explanation, right? And I think that will be easier. And so for those people who just start out like a new brand, I would really suggest to accumulate followers first, social media followers first. Uh, get to know this person and let them get to know you, and then slowly develop relationship through live streaming. It doesn't have to be every day, but maybe like once a week, or maybe once a month, depending how many products you want to sell or everything, and how many marketing budget it is, and then slowly you kind of develop as it needs time and investment as well for people to get to know you and for you to put out contents. So I think this is our suggestions. I think first of all, it requires sort of investment, um, and take time. You're right. Let them to get to know about you, the products, and to buy things from you. So a lot of Chinese popular celebrities or live streamers, they already have a pre-existed follower already that know them for a while,
Yes.
and then they trust them, and then they will buy things from them. They like them because people buy from someone who they like, you know, but they like and they trust. So I think it is first of all, you build likability uh, through entertainment, and then people like to watch, and then you explain the product to them in a way that people feel comfortable and genuine, and to develop that trusting relationship. Yeah.
So it's like usual in the content marketing world and the marketing world. It's very important to create this uh, educational relationship kind of content instead of going straight to the point and to try to sell from the first. For instance, instead of making everything about live shopping, maybe make some shows just more educational, like uh, talks, like talk shows, interviews, and something. Do you think this could be a nice approach as well?
Yeah, I think a mix will be good. So maybe some educational thing video to explain about your product, how your sausage is made of, what ingredient it is, how to cook that sausage, like a more like a instruction, like a tutorial, and then sometimes you invite some Chinese guests to taste it. That will be a kind of demonstration, like a reaction video. They can sort of see how they react to it for that sausage. And then at the end, you can have that live streaming to sell your sausage. You see what I mean? You give people different dimensions about your sausage. So you don't sell your sausage. Hey, just buy us. Can you buy my sausage? So you know, it will help them to understand more about your sausage, uh, and then before they buy it,
Absolutely. And for instance, I was thinking maybe bring some Chinese chef or something to, because I think it's important as well. Okay, it tastes good, it
Yeah,
smells good, but
yeah.
how can I use this in the Chinese cooking? Do you think it should be also a nice approach?
I think both. So it doesn't have to be just Chinese cooking. It can be fusion. It can be Portugal
Yeah,
mixed
absolutely,
Chinese, or Portugal mixed or kind of Italian style, something like that. So it depends on how you cook it. You reinvent some nice recipe to try it. So I think this is important. Um, Sometimes you need to be a bit more creative in how you present your product. There can be 100 different recipes to make this Portuguese sausage that for
absolutely.
Chinese people. Yeah.
Absolutely. And there's because there's something that we talk to often, and I think this could be also a nice approach, mostly when we are entering a new market, a different market, which has this his own particularities. Using Chinese influencers, for instance.
Yeah, I think Chinese influencers will be popular. A good way for them to introduce the product for their followers, because they already have built trust with their followers already, and they can just, it's not really just hard sell. They try a sausage to see how it feels like, how it tastes like. If they like it, they share it with their followers. So that can make it more convincing, more than you sell directly to a group of unknown people. So that's why influencer marketing can't be replaced. You still need to do some. That is also very popular in China as well. Some people say that it's very expensive, but still, I think it is a good way to balance. You produce your content. You invest in develop Chinese content. You also invest in a group of niche followers that like your product. Is also key as well. They can become your supporter or ambassador
Absolutely.
for your product,
Absolutely.
because they're Chinese. Um,
Yeah.
they they better know how this can be promoted to Chinese people.
Absolutely. I was thinking about something here because, as I mentioned, there are different. We are different cultures, okay, and there are, for instance, did you know any without saying names, of course, but do you know any examples of failures because they tried to went to live shopping, make live shopping in China, and they make some particular mistakes that you recommend? Okay, avoid this, don't do this because this will not work, or this is very bad. Do you have any advices on that?
Yeah, I think there's some example where they all have live streaming in China. They actually just copy everything, the storytelling, the Italian storytelling, and put it in China, that people might not understand what it is talking about. It can be too abstract, um, you know, that because of some cultural barriers that they might not understand what it is about. So I think it is very important not to just copy everything, uh, from from Portugal content into Chinese content, because it might, even though it might sound natural for Portuguese people, it might sound a
Absolutely.
bit weird. We might not understand all the Portuguese culture, so we might not, like, we might not, for example, hug people as much as if you guys. So there's certain things that it might be slightly different. So it'll be good to sort of reinvent the story in a Chinese context rather than copy and paste it. So I think that is very important.
Absolutely, absolutely. And let's put things in the opposite side, because you know how things are made in China, how they are succeeding, and I think you already know our European and North American reality. Which ideas, which recommendations you have to share with us? Okay, in China this worked, and I think this would work as well in the European or North American market, for instance. Which advices do you want to share with us?
You mean like advice that actually work for China, not only just China, but also in European or American context as well for live streaming in general, live
Yes,
shopping in general.
like best practices.
Yeah. Um, I think that showing there's several tips that I think there is shared. There's a commonality. So first of all, present your genuine self, like who you are as a person, your personality. Sometimes that through live shopping, people might not want to show their true side, or I think that is very important that people want to know about you. You are the character. You're the actor of the show. So people like you. When the people like you, they'll buy from you. So try not to be someone else, but be you. I think that is also very important. Show your charisma through live shopping, to develop relationship through not it's not just a camera, but also like imagine beyond the camera there's people watching the show.
Absolutely.
And secondly, I think having a dialogue with these people, for example, like yesterday we know that it was raining, or there's a windy, and it sounds crazy, something like that, to like a warm up, as if you're talking to other people and share the same realities. I think that will be important as well. That is more like that can be there. There's a similarity in human being in which you develop that rapport of relationship with people. Or I watched that movie yesterday and it was so touching and so forth, and these little bit and pieces, rather than just rushing into sell. I think it is at the end of it. And a third will be also when you're selling through live shopping, it's also as if you're providing convenience to these people without, they don't need to do a lot of research. For example, if you're talking about Portuguese, you save them tons of time. They don't need to do tons of research. There are probably millions of Portuguese sausage. They don't know which one to pick, but you already select the one that you think that will be tasty for Chinese people. There might be 100 different kind of Portuguese sausage, but you select a particular one and explain why this one is better than another 10 or 20 Portuguese sausage. Might be this one tastes better. Yeah, so you kind of save them lots of time. Yeah, they understand Portuguese from you much better than other people. All these kind of things will be much. That can also apply, as if you explain to American, or you explain to British, or explain to Chinese, or explain to Japanese, Koreans. Also, by the way, I'm your Portuguese expert in Portugal. I'm here to I'm your guide, basically, something like that. Obviously, this can also apply for everyone as well. You already select the best sausage for them, so
Okay.
not just Italian, or you know what I mean. So this can be applied. Yeah. So I think this is there's some huge commonalities that can apply to other countries as well.
And there's something I want to ask because I think it's truly important, and we are talking this kind of new approach, which is and I think the kickstarter of this approach was Steve Jobs, which was, I think, as I remember, the first CEO that showed up so many times and was the the human face of the company. Do you think this is because for me it is, important that the at least if he or she could appear from times to times in those live shows, instead of, for instance, putting or contract people to do actors, for instance, to do the live shows, or other people, employees from the company. Do you have any examples that the CEO, the owner, showed up in the live shopping, and which results that brought?
Yeah, for example, Xiaomi is the China phone mobile phone brand, smartphone brand that developed by that Li Jun, that Chinese entrepreneur. He actually become the ambassador for the brand in live stream to sell to the audiences, because he's the owner, he's the founder for that brand. He should understand the product more than his employee. So he's the person so that people are more comfortable to buy, because he's buying from the founder. If you buy from the employee, he or she might quit the job or leave the company, and there's no way you can complain. And so that's why he basically attend a show to sell the product, and people are comfortable buying from him during the show and expect everything to be right. So that is some interesting cases we would like to share with you, that is also common in China.
And they usually they go live in their own website, for instance, or they use the other platforms like Taobao and this kind of platforms.
They have a Douyin, they have a TikTok, China TikTok social media channel. So they do everything. They do when they do live stream, they open all the platform and show it at the same time in multi channels. Yeah, because they're quite big companies in China.
Yeah. Xiaomi is a huge company.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's a huge company. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we are almost finishing. I don't know if you want to share some final thoughts, tips about live shopping that you think they are really important to take care.
I think live shopping is definitely the way to go in the future, especially during this COVID-19 lockdown, and also coming in the coming years. Uh, my advice is, if you want to promote your product and services to the Chinese market, find a Chinese partner who can help you to localize your content for the Chinese market, because there might be some cultural differences that you might not be aware and might not be able to reinterpret. So we help our clients to localize their marketing materials, to talk to some of the prospective clients to get some local insight on what they think about your product and services, so that it makes you so that you don't have to face that by yourself.
Absolutely.
So, it might be quite lonely to do it by your own. But if you work with other people, it will make it easier and someone you can rely on. So I think this is also very important as well.
Really good, really good. Well, Sarah, let us know, because I think people may want to know a little bit more about this topic, because it's really interesting. It's important. It could be crucial, even a question of survival, because yes, live shopping, it's important. The Chinese market is a very interesting and big, 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 big market. So, how could people find you and your agency?
Yeah, I mean, you can go to LinkedIn and search Red Digital. Red is color red, color red rather than red, and digital. It's like DIGITAL. Can also Marco. You can also leave our website URL down below the show in case they want to learn more about some information or schedule some one-to-one consultation. I'm really happy to offer that to your audiences.
Let me just go to your website, and I will share it in the comments. I'm pleased to do that.
That will be amazing.
Okay, let me put it in the comments so people can.
Do you know the website?
Yes, live reddigitalchina.com.
Yes.
Perfect. Put it in the comments here so people can know a little bit more about you and your work, because this is very interesting. Sarah, thank you so much. It was a very insightful conversation. I think we can see so many good opportunities here from live shopping. I was, when I started this live streaming journey in September 2015, I didn't have any idea how huge this would become, because by those days I only saw this live streaming channel as my channel to communicate, to create my content, to build my authority, to build trust. And by accident, this became a very important platform, the live streaming, the live shopping. So thank you so much for bringing to my community this so important insights and information. um, I wish you all the best, and we will keep in touch. Okay,
Yeah,
thank you so
sure.
much.
Thank
And
you.
thank
So
you. Yes.
so great to be invited. So I hope I got chance to come to Portugal's and looking forward to experience Portuguese culture.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You should, because there. I don't know if you know it, but there are many Chinese entrepreneurs here. We have there's a big Chinese community, and I think one day we can talk about this the Chinese culture, because there are some particular. I had, I don't know, about 2 months ago. A guest from, he's in the United States, but I think the parents, they are from China. And because there's something about Chinese culture which is very different than our culture, because you are working all the time. It's something Chinese people do. It's amazing, because this I read a book, and somehow the explanation they gave us, they gave in that book, makes sense, because this started, and the agriculture, even though by these days things changed, agriculture ruled our lives so much. Because, for instance, I don't know if you know it, but
Yeah.
here in Portugal, we have this holiday season in the school, which is between June, beginning of June, and September.
Okay.
which is so many time. And do you know why?
Why?
Because that time the parents needed their children to help with the agriculture.
Oh, okay,
You know,
interesting.
because they have to take things from, they have to take things from her and to store things and everything. That's
Yeah.
why the and this is how we are. And for instance, from let me see, October till March, agriculture is it's stopped. We don't do
Oh,
much things.
I
And one
see.
of the things I learned on that book was that your main agricultural thing is rice,
Yeah,
and
rice.
rice, it's always working. It doesn't stop. It's always right.
Yeah, I mean, rice, we eat rice basically every day. I mean, I eat rice when I was young every day. It doesn't stop. It keeps coming as if, I don't know. I mean, it's just interesting. So that's why I think there's no need to stop because you keep having rice and you work hard and you eat
Yeah,
rice.
yeah, yeah. And that's something that maybe we should learn a little bit from, because we are here, we are different, you know. And the thing is, we for instance, I live in the south. There's a nice weather, you know, we have beaches, so it's a good life.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah, it is a good life. Yeah, I mean, we're surrounded by such a nice weather and with oceans, with
Yes,
the
yes,
sausage and with
yeah.
bread and
and
it
and
is
fish and
and fish. Yeah, and the good
seafood, yes.
exactly and the good weather. Yeah, I mean it's oh my god, it is a good weather. I mean like Spain, so it's a hot
Yeah,
weather. I
yeah, we
wish.
live, by Spain side. Yes. Well,
Yeah,
Sarah, thank you so much. It was a pleasure. It was an honor to have you here, and thank you for all the information you brought to my audience and for me, of course. This we will keep in touch.
yeah,
Okay, thank you
sure.
so much, and also thank you so much for those of you who are watching my show now live or then recorded. And I will be back tomorrow. I will have another show, so stay tuned because I'll be back soon. Bye bye.
Bye everyone.